We have Marty from Shenandoah on Pure Country. How are you?
I'm doing good, Shannon.
It's
Doing
nice to meet
absolutely
you.
wonderful.
I'm a big fan, and I'm really excited that we get to be here at the 57th Annual CMA Awards. And the CMA Awards are kind of like a big family reunion, but what is it that's so special about the CMA and this event every single year?
Well, really, it's the recognition, I think, within yourself that that you're part of an industry that you long to be a part of. This, to me, the CMAs is always kind of the catalyst of where you are in the business. Even after 38 years that we've been doing it, now we've come up and we've been fortunate enough to win some and to be able to just be a part of it and to have the opportunity in which to participate. That's always a good thing, as long as you're relevant, that's always a good thing where somebody feels like, you're worthy enough to, well, of course I got the credentials, they can be in it, so let's give them a shot, So that's always a good thing.
For sure. And somebody who's obviously received a lot of recognition in the last couple of years and nominated this year for reigning entertainer, is somebody you've collaborated with recently, Luke Combs, on 2 Dozen Roses. How did that come together, and how did you end up enlisting him to be on that song?
Well, fans of ours and fans of his started sending us videos of Luke doing it. Of course, we know a lot of guys in his camp.
Right.
And so anyway, those fellas would send it, hey, man, check this out. And Luke thought he'd steal one, and this kind of, all kind of little comments and stuff. So anyway, I got up with Luke and I said, hey, man, why don't we hit this thing again? Because the one thing that we found out, if there was anything good about COVID, I think it sent a lot of people to search engines looking for stuff, investigating music and the careers of people and stuff like that. And then the next thing 2 Dozen Roses just blew up. We was getting all kind of TikToks about, well, he done me wrong, but I'll tell you, he gave me this, but if he'd have gave me, if I had to, and they'd start singing 2 Dozen Roses. It was coming from a lot of girls and stuff. So anyway, so we know good and well that started making a little bit of, a ripple in the pond. And so anyway, we got to think, somebody's gonna cover this.
Right.
Somebody's gonna recut this. So you know what? If Luke's gonna do it live, maybe he'd want to recut it with us.
Yeah.
So like I said, we started texting back and forth, and Luke's a pretty cool dude, and anyway, so that's really kind of how that that's literally how that happened.
And I've talked to him before about artists that have really, inspired him growing up, and you guys are one of those bands. So that's got to be a pretty cool full circle moment for him. Did you guys get to actually go in the studio and sing it together?
We didn't sing it together.
Okay.
I was in the studio when he did his part.
Okay, cool.
But we had already cut the track, and the reason being is because his schedule and our schedule. When we got a chance to do it, I did it, and then when he got a chance to do it, he did it. So, and it had been nice if we could have been able to do it together. It's always better when you get to do it together.
Right.
You can kind of slap off one another and stuff and all. But I sit there and listen to him do it. Even got video of it. So
cool.
That was a cool thing.
That's awesome. All right, last thing before we go, because your album, Every Road, you guys have a lot of really cool artists that have jumped on there. Is there a certain new artist or just somebody that's in the world right now in country music that you've really taken notice to, that's impressed you?
Oh, well,
there's a lot.
Yeah, there really is. There's a ton of them. Man, I'm a big Cody Johnson fan.
Absolutely.
Luke, Combs, Luke Bryan. I think Luke Bryan's going to do an absolutely killer job.
Oh yeah,
emceeing this thing. He literally is going to be the Billy Crystal of
he
the
is
CMAs.
definitely
I promise you, he will. His
entertaining guy.
His off the hip stuff. It's stuff that just happens in a glimpse second. He'll do well with that.
You betcha. All right, make sure you guys tune in Wednesday, November the 8th to the CMA Awards. Marty from Shenandoah.